Hey there, and welcome. So, your business is growing, and that's fantastic news. But, as you know, with more success comes more responsibility. Today, we're going to get into something absolutely crucial that can sneak up on any growing business in the UK: the penalties for registering for VAT too late. So, let's start with a really direct question. I want you to think about your numbers for a second. Over the last 12 months, is your total turnover starting to creep up towards that £90,000 mark? If the answer is yes, or even maybe, you are in exactly the right place. This right here, this is the magic number. As of 2026, £90,000 is the official VAT registration threshold. You've got to think of it like a tripwire. Once your business crosses it, your relationship with HMRC legally changes, whether you're ready or not. Okay, so let's get crystal clear on what this threshold really means. This is not a suggestion. It's not a guideline. It is a hard and fast legal requirement. Knowing exactly when you need to act is really the first step to staying out of trouble. So there are a few different triggers you've got to watch out for. The most common one, your turnover goes over 90K in any rolling 12-month period. And that's the key. It's not just a calendar year. But it's also about looking ahead. If you land a huge contract and you expect to blow past that number in the next 30 days alone, you have to register. And finally, if you buy a business that's already VAT registered, well, guess what? You inherit that status immediately. So 3 different situations, all leading to the same outcome. It's time to register. Right, so what actually happens if you miss one of those triggers? This is where it gets pretty serious. We're not talking about a simple admin mistake anymore. We're talking about real, painful financial consequences. Here's the first hit. From the very moment you should have registered, HMRC sees you as responsible for all the VAT on your sales. And here's the part that's a real gut punch. Because you weren't registered, you weren't adding that to your prices. You never collected that money from your customers. But you still owe it to HMRC, which means that money has to come straight out of your pocket, directly from your profits. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, on top of having to pay the VAT you never collected, HMRC will hit you with penalties specifically for failing to register on time. This is a totally separate charge, purely for the late notification. So, how do these penalties actually work? It's not just a random number they pull out of thin air. There's a formula, and once you understand it, you can see just how fast these costs can stack up. So let's break it down. Okay, before we even talk percentages, we need to get our heads around this term, VAT due. Everything is based on this number. Put simply, it's the VAT you should have charged on your sales, minus the value you were allowed to claim back on your business purchases. The penalty is a percentage of whatever that final figure is. And this table right here, it just lays it all out. Look at how that percentage climbs. If you're under 9 months late, it's a 5% penalty, okay? But let that slide to between 9 and 18 months, and boom, it doubles to 10%. Go past 18 months, it triples to 15%. Time is literally money in this situation. The longer you wait, the worse it gets. And one more thing to keep in mind, even if your VAT due is tiny, there's a floor. There's a minimum penalty of £50. So there's really no scenario where being late is consequence-free. All right, after all that doom and gloom, you might be wondering, is there any way out of this? Well, in some very specific situations, yes. HMRC has this concept they call a reasonable excuse. And if you have one, that penalty might just get waived. So what on earth does HMRC consider reasonable? Well, this quote says it all. They're looking for things that were genuinely out of your control, real unexpected life events. This isn't an excuse for just forgetting or being swamped with work. It's got to be something significant. And here are some actual examples. We're talking about you being severely ill, a death in the family, or maybe a genuine technical glitch with HMRC's own website that stopped you from registering. As you can see, the bar here is pretty high and you're going to need proof. But it's good to know these exceptions exist for those truly exceptional cases. Okay, so we've been through the rules, we've looked at the risks. Now let's talk about the solution. How do you get on the right side of this and just take control of the situation? Let's be real for a second. Dealing with the tax authorities can feel, well, intimidating. It's totally natural to want to just stick your head in the sand and hope it goes away. But I'm telling you, that is the worst possible thing you can do. The key, every single time, is to face it head on. So what is the most powerful step you can take? Honestly, it's not going alone.
The best way to navigate all this complexity and avoid some really expensive mistakes is to get professional help. A good accountant can get you registered properly, figure out exactly what you owe, and even talk to HMRC for you. It's all about peace of mind. So after all of this, after seeing the triggers, the penalties, and the way forward, the question really comes back to you. What's your next move to make sure your business is safe and compliant? Whatever it is, the key is to act now. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.
If you are looking for professional guidance, give us a call today. Sit back and relax while we do all the complicated work for you.